Was that awesome? Was that cool? Hey you, I hope you liked that intro that I've definitely never done on this channel before, that nobody's ever seen before, because that was completely new and original to this video. If you didn't already know, in these last two videos, we started a movie series called Zombies, which, if you couldn't guess, is a movie about zombie zoo animals. That's the whole movie, really awesome. After the first movie, I discovered that there was a second one. They hinted at a sequel, which was somehow even worse with its CGI and its story, and it's just everything. Everything about it was worse. And I thought, okay, yeah, there's no way it gets any worse than this one, right? I was wrong. Because then I watched Aquarium of the Dead. Was that cool? I wanted to add like a scary, like a, oh, watch out guys. Aquarium of the Dead is somehow the third movie in the franchise. I don't even know why there was a first, but okay. Really quick though, can anyone here guess where Aquarium of the Dead takes place? Did you say an aquarium? Because it's an aquarium. Yeah, it's right there. I don't know what gave it away. We open up on these two vets freaking out about how something is going wrong and are bringing this cart of medical stuff somewhere. But they do that typical doctor show thing where they just say a bunch of random doctor lingo to try to make themselves sound smart. Like, she's going into cardiac arrest. We need 100 milligrams of epinephrine stat. Like shit like that, just to make them sound cooler. But they show up at this tank and we meet the head doctor, whose name I definitely remember and I'm not blanking on right now and waiting for them to say in the movie. She comes out and starts freaking out about this octopus in the tank dying, like it's SeaWorld, I don't know. They start getting ready to save the octopus and she throws out this line.
The eye injector tray is supplied. There should be a whole new batch in there. The stuff from Eden Zoo had to be destroyed.
Wait. Did they say the Eden Zoo? Like from the first movie? It's all connected, holy shit. It's like this is a sequel. She mentions that all of the stuff from the Eden Zoo shipment has been destroyed, but right as she says that, one of the nurses pulls out a syringe labeled Eden Zoo on it. So clearly something's a little fishy here, and it's it's just the fish. We're in an aquarium. It's the fish, guys. She somehow manages to stab the octopus with this syringe. I really don't know how she got him. He is flying around that tank. I don't know. But it flatlines. She's like 10 seconds and still no response, and then it undies because it's a zombie movie. And apparently this random octopus is like the fucking Kraken. Look at how big this thing is. It comes out of the water and launches her over the railing. She goes flying, dude. But seriously, how big is this thing? Look at it. Oh my god. That should not be in a commercial aquarium. That thing needs to be in the ocean fighting freighters. That thing is terrifying. Anyways, the nurses get murdered and we get past our little title card. We get this introduction to what aquariums are, in case you clicked on this movie not knowing what aquariums are. And we learn that this place is known as the Shining Sea Aquarium, and it's located in like SoCal, I think they said. I don't know. Some evil, disgusting place that I'll never go. I do have to say I'm glad they at least tried to do something new instead of just doing the, oh, it's a zoo again. Here's another infected zombie zoo. Oh, who's gonna be infected this time? It was the monkey last time, now it's the tiger. We meet our main protagonist, Miranda, who's doing lab stuff, and Joe walks in to handle disposal. We don't really know what's on the table, but Miranda was like taking samples. It's some dead animal, right? Apparently due to new company policy, they're feeding it to the sharks later, which I don't know if aquariums do that. I feel like it's kind of messed up, but at the same time, it's like the circle of life, you know? Like, what are you gonna do? Throw it in the dumpster? Like, I mean, come on. The sharks gotta eat too, man. We cut over to shark expert Daniel, who gets a call from none other than Ellen, who is the lady from the first movie and partially the second movie. She's the one that runs the Eden Zoo. She is absolutely freaking out trying to make sure that they properly dispose of the Eden Zoo shipment. I don't know. She's really cryptic about the whole thing, which kind of pisses me off. All she'll say is like, guys, there was an incident. We need to destroy it. Can you tell them why, maybe? She just says they had an adverse reaction. I don't know. Apparently Daniel and Miranda are smarter than me though, because they seem to grasp the situation immediately and are like, oh yeah, shit, we'll make sure it's gone. They end the call and Daniel heads out to do the very special VIP morning feed, and ooh, stingrays. I love stingrays. Wait, these are awesome. I want to go here. Oh, sorry. Daniel meets up with Skylar, the VIP guy today, which I do find kind of funny. He says he's here because it's his birthday. He's like, yeah, I just wanted to try something new for my birthday. But I feel kind of bad for him. Why is he here by himself? He's at a random aquarium at 8 in the morning on his birthday. That's kind of, I don't know, that's kind of sad, man. Daniel kind of roasts him for being a dude named Skylar, which I guess it is usually a girl's name, but that's such a weird first introduction. Can you imagine walking up to somebody being like, hey, Ryan, you have a woman's name. bitch. Like, I don't know. It felt like he was trying to little bro him for no reason. You guys are on a VIP shark feed. Like, it's not a big deal, bro. We get some info that's definitely not foreshadowing at all. Definitely no foreshadowing here at all about how the sharks swim through this portal system and everything that has to do with the aquariums and how they feed and the intricate setups for each aquariums and how they connect to everything and all the timing and everything. Yeah, no, it's actually not foreshadowing at all. They just get really into talking about how they feed the sharks here. I don't know why this is here. It never comes up. Cool. He also makes a Sharknado joke.
Definitely don't want these bad boys taken up in a tornado.
Why would a shark be in a tornado?
You know, never mind, it's a boomer joke.
I don't know what he means by boomer humor. The first one came out like 10 years ago. Hold on, when did the first Sharknado come out? July 11th, 2013. Wow, that was a few days ago, actually. I mean, like, you know what I mean. But it came out in 2013. That's not boomer humor. It's not like you're trying to reference Eraserhead or some shit. Like, this came out 12 years ago. I see a lot of people try to compare these movies to Sharknado in terms of like, it's so bad, it's good. I love how bad it is. I feel like the difference is Sharknado understands how to make a movie funny bad because it has that over-the-top premise and crazy shit happening, terrible CG and bad writing. And these just straight up suck. You know what I mean? Like, there's nothing redeeming about these except that they're really bad. They're talking a little bit more, and Skylar mentions that his favorite animal is a walrus, which, I mean, walruses are sick, but I'm just kind of pissed that this one is the foreshadowing here. Out of all the things they talked about, the only piece of actual foreshadowing is the fact that he likes walruses. Okay. Should have called this Walrus of the Dead. I don't know. That was a bad name. I'm moving on. Daniel gets a call from Miranda, all flirty-like, and she asks him to make sure everything is ready for the prestigious Senator Blackburn, which just on name alone sounds like an arrogant villain character, so I'm really expecting a lot from this guy. Before the senator shows up, we get some ominous vent shots. Apparently the octopus from earlier is crawling around in there. I don't know how it fit in there. That thing was like 60 feet long. I find this scene kind of funny because it's literally just them filming the vent for a little bit and then adding some sounds at the end. Like, there's nothing here. If I turn the audio off, it's just filming an air duct. This looks like you're taking an HVAC course. Senator Blackburn arrives with his assistant and is just as much of a tool as I thought he would be, so props to the actors so far. Out of all three of the movies, the acting in this one is definitely the best, which isn't saying much, but it's still the best. You know what I mean? Blackburn seems super pissed that he's even here, but apparently Miranda and the aquarium desperately need funding, so his assistant wants him to save face and come out and talk to her. He mentions that he's running for governor soon, so I guess he's doing pretty good, but I don't know. He's still a politician, so I don't like him. They head on inside and, oh, hey, Karen's alive. Also, I'm not just calling her that because of her haircut. That's actually her name. She's actually called Karen. Apparently, she got beat up by the octopus. I don't know how she didn't die from that. She got absolutely clobbered, which I do want to mention really quickly. I watched this movie with Dolly, and she really wanted me to mention how terrible the makeup in this movie. I believe she said, what was it? Hand me some crayons and I could do a better job. This shit sucks. We get more vent shots while Karen struggles to walk around the aquarium, and she eventually tries to call Miranda or their security head, Clue. After she calls, we meet Clue, who comes to help out. And I just wanted to mention, this woman is actually a pretty prolific actor. Her name is Vivica A. Fox, and she's in a whole host of pretty big movies from the 90s to like early 2000s, like Kill Bill, for example. What went wrong, Vivica? Why are you here? Miranda is talking to Blackburn about how much they need, and he's trying to weasel his way out because he's a politician. But eventually he states he will help her get the funding for an online store. He's like, what if you do an online store? I really don't think an online store is gonna help an aquarium stay open. When have you ever gone online shopping and been like, what if I go to that aquarium store and buy a fish? Who's buying aquarium merch when they're not going to the aquarium? You know what I mean? I think they should start selling shark fights. Imagine that. You sell shark fights, you get in the water and you fight sharks. It's not shark v shark like those evil pit bull rings. You get in the water, you get the bare knuckle brawl and make no shark. And if you win, you get the money. You get the money back. That's a genius idea, actually. That would make millions. Hold on, I need to call my manager. Hey, Dolly? Yeah, no. We're go for the shark fights. I think it's a good idea. I think it's gonna make us so much money. Hello? After all this, he dismissively walks away further into the where is he going? Where is he going? He's on a tour with this lady. Why did he just walk away? I don't know. Anyways, apparently the reason he's here, the reason he's able to get them all money and everything is he's actually the CEO and owner of the aquarium, which is actually a very important plot point later, so keep that in your mind palace. Clue goes outside with Karen to look at the two dead nurses and says, wow. Is she a psychopath? What the fuck? Who looks at two dead bodies, no matter what job you're working, unless you killed them? Who's looking at two dead bodies and just goes, wow, yep, Those are dead guys. Like, what the fuck? Karen explains that the octopus came back to life, killed the 2 nurses, and ran into the duct, which I just want to say I'm still kind of shocked that Karen is alive. She got launched off that balcony, but Clue finally understands the severity of the issue here and says that they got to put the place on lockdown. After this, Clue decides to call Miranda to tell her what's going on.
Do you hear me, Miranda? Miranda, do you copy?
Jesus, lady. Okay, give her a second. You can't just go Miranda. Hello, are you there, Miranda? Like, what is this? Five Nights at Freddy's? Hello. Karen heads out to try to find Miranda, and Clue calls this girl named Christy. She's security, I guess. I don't know. She gets told to look around for the octopus and sprints away like Michael Myers is standing behind her. We cut back over to Joe. Remember Joe? Yeah, he's still here. Anyways, he goes to the table to get rid of whoever Hannah is and realizes something's off. It's a killer dolphin! Back from the dead! Ah! It attacks him on the table and like, why is it so small? Is it a baby dolphin? I mean, surely he can beat up a baby dolphin. I feel like anybody could win that fight. I don't know. I'm not endorsing killing baby dolphins. I'm just saying I think I'd win. Anyways, Joe is dead, and now the only named animal in the entire movie is genuinely never mentioned again. They go in this room later, and the dolphin's just not here, and they don't think about it at all. Karen finally finds Miranda and the senator and tells them what's going on, and now they're all freaking out, right? I'm kind of surprised there was never a, oh my god, you're crazy, Karen. Nothing's wrong. You probably hit your head falling down the stairs. Because movies like this love doing that, and I just want to give them props for avoiding that. The octopus makes more rumblings around them, and the senator looks freaked out. Oh my god, I did not notice that the first time. He is terrified. All of a sudden, all of the fish and seals in all the aquariums start slamming into the glass at the same time and blast through it, and now the entire aquarium starts flooding. Christy and Clue meet up in this service tunnel, and Christy says, I'll get on the boat and get help. What boat? They're on land. They're in an aquarium. Isn't that like the whole point of the aquarium, is that there's not a boat, that like you're on land? I don't care anymore. I don't care. Let's just keep watching the movie. Christy starts running down a tunnel, hears the octopus, and decides to back up into the glass. There's an ocean creature in this aquarium, and she decides to back up into the one spot where there's water. She'll never find me here next to this large body of water that he actually lives in. The worst part about this whole thing is that we don't actually see the octopus before he kills her. I guess it was too much for the budget, but Christy dies in like an off-screen thing. They do like this scream, and then she's never seen again. So we presume she's dead, right? And I just, I don't know. That made me so mad. Like, if this was dead meat, that shit would have gotten Dull Machete for lamest kill. What is that? There's zero visual of the killer, the off-screen death, the random shouts that other people hear to confirm that she's dead. This has to be one of the lamest kills I have ever seen in a horror movie ever. Like, this was actually just so lame. We cut back to Skylar and, oh, stingrays. Skylar and Daniel are trying to figure out what's going on, and Skylar starts freaking out. They haven't seen anything. They just keep hearing the alarms going off, and Skylar immediately calls 911, which, thank God. You know what I mean? Thank God somebody finally did what they were supposed to do in one of these movies and just call the authorities. There's never a crisis where having more people to help is a bad thing. You know what I mean? We cut over to Miranda and Friend and this annoying alarm.
Will this thing ever turn off?
And she explains how this building is on lockdown and each quadrant shuts individually to stop flooding and fires, but we don't see anything related to the...
Would you stop?
Oh my... Okay. I'm sorry, man. I'll go. Jesus. We cut over to the cops or like firefighters or whatever. I don't know, but this guy looks like a knockoff Mark Cuban. You know, the billionaire guy on Shark Tank? Maybe Mark Puerto Rican. They actually completely blow off the call. They get a call from dispatch and they're standing like across the boardwalk, and they tell dispatch that they're about 30 minutes out. And I looked it up. That patch that they're wearing means they're firefighters, right? Can you imagine a firefighter getting a call about a fire and then going, God, we got 30 minutes. We got 30 minutes. You're a firefighter. That's your only job. For all you know, people are on fire in there, you jackasses. What are you doing? What do you mean? 30 minutes. Clue finally makes it to the security room where it appears nothing's working, and I just want to say they definitely are playing like a static 10-hour loop YouTube video on that TV, aren't they? That's not important though. What is important is, looks like Dan Schneider's been through here because there's all that slime everywhere. Get it? Because like Nickelodeon slime? I don't... They can't all be winners. They keep heavily implying all the power's out and dead in this facility, which is keeping the doors locked until they return the power. And it's just this whole convoluted mess because the senator asks like, well, how's this fish tank stuff still running if the power's all out? And Miranda's like, oh, well, that's on a separate generator, of course, dumbass. Why don't they have the lockdown security and the security room on a battery backup? Why wouldn't they put it on the same one as the fish, or maybe a different one for extra security? They just don't have it. They bring this up multiple times and completely change how it works every single time, and it's so stupid. Sometimes the doors are on the battery backup, sometimes they're not. I don't know. It doesn't even matter because sometimes they'll just walk through a door and then later they'll come back and be like, oh, it's locked. It's locked. I guess the security protocol blocked it. Also, the lights and everything are working when they walk through. Like, they can just walk through a lot of the doors. The lights are on. The fish tanks are totally working. So I really don't believe that the power's out. We then cut back to Dan and Skylar for probably one of my favorite scenes in the movie.
Don't touch the fence. It's electrified.
Okay, so like, walk away from it. I don't know. You guys can go around. You're in like a parking lot. I don't know where they were, but they totally could have walked around. They didn't need to be like, watch out for the fence, guys. It's scary. Like, what? Oh, shit. Watch out for that knife, guys. It's really sharp. They make their way to this electrical box so he can turn off the electric fence, but unfortunately the box is locked. And I have to say, Skylar is genuinely the only smart one here, because he's actually like coming up with stuff like maybe we stack up these boxes or like climb over the fence or something, and Daniel's just freaking out. He's like, no, we're gonna die, dude, we're gonna die. Daniel and Skylar keep arguing because Skylar doesn't want to go back near the sharks.
Hey, what about them sharks? I remember how fast they work.
Last time I checked, they don't walk, hop, or skip. I think we'll be fine.
Something tells me we're gonna see a shark hop, jump, and skip. I don't know, maybe it's just my intuition, but something's telling me. And then maybe if we're lucky, the shark will like hop, skip, and jump, and then we'll get Daniel just going like, oh, well, will you look at that? Daniel suggests using the tunnels to get back into the aquarium, and it's pretty clear from these guys' banter that they're like the comedic relief of the movie, which for the first time in any of these movies are actually not that bad. I don't think it's like great, but it's not terrible. It's the first time I can actually give them a pass on putting comedy tag on the movie. Only a little, because the rest is still really ass. They all start wandering around the facility trying to find an exit so they can skedaddle, and oh shit. How much do you want to bet this is the exact same crocodile model from the second movie? Because I am willing to bet a lot of money. It's just so lazy. I know crocodiles are at aquariums, but you used that in the last movie. Do like an evil penguin or something cool. I don't know. Do literally anything else. Also, can't they just run away? There's no way the crocodile is going to catch up to them on land. Like, I mean, how fast could they even be? 20 miles per hour? There's no way it can run like that. Look at this thing. There's no way that thing can run. It's probably like one of those, it technically can, but it's like in short bursts. I refuse to believe a human can't outrun a croc on land. I don't know. I'm gonna test that and let you guys know. They do actually run away from the crocodile, and we cut back to Mark Guatemalan. They also briefly mentioned in the call to dispatch that the current time is before 11 a.m., sometime before 11, because the aquarium doesn't open until 11, because remember, Skylar's on that VIP feed, so he's the only, like, customer in there right now. But I do want you to keep that in mind for later. We cut back over to Skylar and Daniel, who are somehow on a boat. I don't know how they got on a boat. It looks like a military vessel, too. It looks like a military vessel. I like how I said that like I have any idea what a military vessel would look like just by seeing it. I've never been in the military. Daniel mentions it's a kid's zone, so what I'm assuming is it's like a fake boat attached to the aquarium. But either way, it was just kind of jarring to like cut back and they're on a boat. I thought I like fell asleep and missed something. I don't know. It was weird. They're walking through and they hear a sound and oh no. Those evil giant crabs are absolutely disgusting. I actually hate them so much. Like, genuinely one of my least favorite animals. Spider crabs, top 5. You know, spiders themselves, there are some cute variants, you know, like those jumping spiders. They're kind of cute, so they get a pass. Spiders are pretty cool. I don't understand the hate for them. Spider crabs can rot in hell where they probably crawled out of. They can't get into the ship and get attacked by some spider crabs. And do they look like Source Engine models to anybody else? I don't know. They look like they'd be creatures in a Half-Life game. You know what I mean? Like, they just look a little outdated. Skylar grabs the axe and holy shit, it's a home run. Get this guy in the MBL. MBL? What is it? The MLB. Get this boy in the MLB. Holy shit. By the way, an adult spider crab is roughly 44 pounds, and this dude sent that freak halfway across this country. He has to have super strength. Shohei Ohtani, eat your heart out. Skylar's coming to bat, okay? We cut back to Miranda and co as they head to the nearest door, and Miranda gets weirdly pissy about how they cannot destroy the glass, because the senator's like, why don't we break the window and get out there? And she's all like, no, we can never do that. And he just keeps going, come on, we have to be smarter than the fish, right? Come on. Miranda says the only way is to double back before they get swarmed by evil as starfish. Karen gets attacked by a bunch of them, but they go in and save her. And they really couldn't think of anything creepier, any other fish life creepier than a starfish. Actually, no, the underside of starfish are gross as shit, so never mind. I understand. They're all freaking out because like the starfish and shit, and we get this amazing shot. I'm sorry, there's no way you can make that scary. They're starfish. Throw them. I do something. Just step on them. They're not gonna do anything to you. Miranda and friends decide they need to get to the roof to call for help, and we cut back to Skylar and Daniel. They make it into the boat and are kind of just looking for a bathroom and a safe space, which fair enough, I would too. Also, Daniel pissed his pants.
Good, where's the bathroom? I'm about to piss my pants.
I think I already did.
Everybody make fun of him. Look at pissy pants over here. I'm sorry. I needed that. Daniel and Skylar are freaking each other out in this hallway as they go through some more maintenance tunnels, and I don't get why Skylar doesn't just take a fire extinguisher off the wall or something if they really keep arguing over who gets the axe. At least both have something, you know what I mean? Like, I'd be taking the fire extinguisher, I would be ripping poles off the wall to fight, you know what I mean? We cut back to Karen, who notices the starfish is still alive! It's still a starfish, guys. I don't know. They kill the starfish and keep going, and Miranda starts looking for a map to try to find a better way out of here of the building that she works in. She's looking for a map of the building that she actively works in. How does she not know what it looks like? Like, isn't she the head of the company? I feel like she should be pretty intimate with the building layout. I don't know. Maybe she's new. Dan keeps walking, and he starts going, I don't feels so good, and starts like passing out, I guess from the blood loss, because the spider crab that attacked him did some pretty good damage. But Skylar goes over and finds a water bottle and gives it to him, and like a health potion, Daniel just goes, oh wait, I'm good. he's totally fine. He's just I need help, I need help. Hey man, you ready to go? After this, we cut back to the firefighters who are still trying to find a way in. They can't really find a good way in, but they do finally realize that it's actually an issue and stop trying to blow off the whole situation. He also says,
Oh, what? That's a crocodile. Dispatch! We got people running around in there. Animals are loose. We gotta get them out.
I don't know what he's talking about. There's like 5 people in there total, and almost all of them are inside. I'm pretty sure Daniel and Skylar are inside by this point. Who is he talking about? Because you hear like women and children screaming in the background. Who's in there? We cut to Skylar and Dan, and uh-oh, the octopus is coming. Honestly, this is probably some of the best CG I've seen in all 3 of the movies. Mostly because it's dark and shadowless, but hey, a win's a win, right? A win's a win. The evil croc shows up to immediately take away my compliments, and they skedaddle on out of there. Miranda suggests they get into this vent and climb over so they can get into a different exhibit, and the senator is pissed, like it's Miranda's fault that this vent is small. I don't know, he starts getting really annoyed for no reason. My favorite part of this is the way Miranda tells him how to find the next room absolutely kills me.
The Marine Science Gallery, it's got a different color carpet, so when you look down to the panel, you'll be able to see that, and then just drop down in there.
Well, what? Yeah, you know, it like looks different, so like whenever you see something new, maybe just drop down, I guess. I don't know, maybe just drop for it, go for it, see what happens. Like like what? Tell him like the color, or like even the distance. Be like after like 40 feet, or like in the next vent, or just the color of the carpet. Don't be like the carpet's a different color. Tell him the color. They all climb up into the vents, and these are not vents. What is this? These are like underground maintenance tunnels. Why would there be a walkway with a railing in a vent on the ceiling? What is this? Anyways, they make it into a room that definitely does not have a carpet, so I don't know where she was trying to send him, but they keep walking and eventually get chased by some crabs until they run into Dan and Skylar. Yay! The whole gang's back together. Yes. Daniel goes absolutely ham on these crabs. Like, why didn't he do this earlier when he was getting mogged by the crabs? You know what I mean? Like, he's kind of crazy with it. All the crabs are dead, and they get to rest a second before continuing on. And they go into that room with dead-ass Joe. You remember Disposal Joe, and the syringe with the Eden Zoo logo on it. Okay, yeah, so Daniel lied about destroying all the syringes and everything from the Eden Zoo, but we don't know if it was intentional yet or if he's just like a dumbass. She does confront him though, and he's all like, come on, there's gotta be a logical explanation. Come on, syringes are bad all the time. I didn't think it'd be this big of a deal if it didn't get destroyed. So I guess he's off the hook for now. The firefighters keep trying to get in, and they make it to this like back entrance and take the elevator for some reason. Well, one of them takes the elevator and the other one takes the stairs. This Scooby-Doo-as scenario pisses me off. Let's split up and look for clues, guys. Like, we take the same way. What are you doing? The elevator starts going up, and as the doors close, this dude somehow didn't notice the gigantic octopus in the elevator. Seriously, this thing is like the size of the elevator. You can see the roof of an elevator when you walk into it. How did he not notice this? Did he just not care? I don't know. Also, why is it in here? How is it in here? Why and how is the octopus in this elevator? Like, was it trying to leave, and then it was like, I kind of want to eat this guy. I really don't know. It doesn't even attack him. It just kind of freaks out. It smacks him once, and he leaves the elevator. That's it. That's all that happens.
Oh my God. Are you okay? What was that thing? I don't know.
Are they gonna kiss? What is happening? That felt so weird. Clue tries working on the security desk some more to bring it back so they can finally leave, but it doesn't seem like she has a clue what's going on here. Thank you. I'll be. We get some more hints that Daniel purposefully didn't destroy the Eden Zoo shipment from Senator Blackburn. He's like, why did you do that? And he's like, oh, I didn't think it would go this far. And all of a sudden, while they're talking, a freaking walrus shows up. Do they usually have walruses at aquariums? Maybe they do. Maybe, definitely not at the ones I've been to, but that's kind of sick, I guess. I don't know. They get pincer maneuvered by the walrus and the croc, and Skylar breaks completely freaks out, grabs the axe, and just starts running at the walrus like a maniac. What are you doing, dude? Why are you doing that? Also, I just want to say, I'm fighting the croc over the walrus any day. I just feel like he's got less range of motion, so I just like get behind him and just like, you know what I mean? Like the walrus is eating my ass. Not like that. Skylar runs at it and, like I expected, gets absolutely bodied and pierced by the walrus teeth. Genuinely, like, the least necessary death I've ever seen in a movie. Why did he do this? There's a door right behind them, too. They could have just left. Literally anything else he could have done would have been better than this. This is like he rolled a nat 1 on a skill check and just was like, I guess I gotta kill myself now. Like, also, can anyone tell me what these blood sound effects are from? They sound so familiar, but I can't quite remember what it is. Is it Gary's mod? I don't... Editor Prisk here. It's from Happy Wheels. I figured it out. It's from Happy Wheels. They sampled Happy Wheels sound bites for this movie. I don't know if it was sampled, but they bought the same audio pack. Is that not insane? Is that not a crazy find on my end that I remembered that? I'm kind of proud of myself. I don't know. Okay, back to normal Prisk. They realize the animals can't see when they're infected for some reason. I don't think that's how it worked in the other two movies, but I like that more than just they're zombie animals. Maybe it's different depending on which animal they get the virus from. They don't really explain it, but Karen makes an audio bomb on her phone and like throws it through the door to distract the walrus, and then they're able to safely make it out of there. They make it to an exit door, but they can't force it open. And remember that shark tent that I mentioned earlier? You know, the big like blue shark tent? It's right there through the door. If you look, it's right there. Somebody doesn't know where they are because Daniel and Skylar were right there on the other side of this door that they're trying to get out of. Who was going where? I don't think they even know what this building's laid out like. Maybe that's why she got the map, because she's just never been here before in her life. Anyways, they start freaking out, trying to break down the door until Clue lets them know that the desk is now online. Yes! Thank you, Clue. Thank you, Clue. She does also hit them with a really annoying line.
So it's a good news and bad news situation. What news do you want first?
Hey man, this is like a life or death kind of thing. Maybe skip on the pedantics here. I don't really think this part was necessary. You could have just told them what the news was. Clue says she was able to release all the exits, which is the good news, but the bad news is because the failsafes are electronic and the power is out, they aren't actually opening, they're just turned on. Why is that a thing? Why is that a thing? Genuinely, like they don't have a battery backup for the doors, but they do for the security room? Why? Why are the doors on the same one as the security room? Miranda explains it to Blackburn like it makes sense. She's like, well, of course, idiot. Our security doors don't have a backup power system. So if you get stuck in here and the power goes out, you're screwed. You're dead. Why would you not have the emergency doors on the same backup as the security system? Like this has to be illegal or at the very least a major fire hazard. She lets them know that the only way to turn on the power is to go to the basement. So they move on towards it. They start their grand journey to the basement, but there's 2 mako sharks in their way in this like tunnel. They don't really seem harmful or anything. You could just kind of walk around. They're just chilling there. They all eventually climb over the mako sharks, with Karen being the last to go, but suddenly though, before she makes it all the way with these absolutely fat steps, like seriously, these are crazy. She's like, yep, gotta sneak around this mako shark. I just slammed my knee into the wall. That really hurt actually. But as she's making these ginormous moon landing level leaps, one of the mako sharks wakes up and nibbles on her leg a little, which to be fair would absolutely suck. I would start crying, I'm gonna be honest. A shark bites my ankle. Ow! Ow! Daniel goes ham on it with the axe, and like, why didn't they just do this when he walked in? Why didn't they just walk in and go, all right, sharks? They all make it out alive, and we cut back over to Clue. We get this like kind of alien reference where she sees like slime dripping on the computer, and then she looks up and she's like, I'm assuming that's the octopus, but after that we cut back to Miranda and they're back in the theater room. Is this the only room they rented out for this movie? Like seriously, why are they here again? At 12 minutes, at 40 minutes, and at an hour and 20 minutes, they are in the exact same room. I hate it here. I hate it here so much. Karen gets patched up, you know, she seems to be fine, but the assistant actually seems pretty bad. She's tweaking out in the corner and she seems to be getting really sick because of the starfish on her stomach. Why didn't she tell anybody about this? There's no way you don't notice a fucking starfish sucking the stomach out of your stomach. What? She genuinely says, oh, I didn't want to be a bother. I'm sorry, is she dumb? Hey guys. Not to be like a burden or anything, but I'm like super dying. Maybe you guys want to help me. I don't want to be a burden. I don't know. Also, yeah, she fully dies from this. She's completely dead. It sucked her dry. She's dead. That has to be the first person on Earth to die to a starfish. Do not put that on my tombstone. I'd be so embarrassed. She died to a starfish. Also, almost immediately after, the octopus shows up and eats Senator Blackburn, so he's dead too. The backup says they're holed up at the Eden Zoo Sanctuary, which means this is happening like the same time or like the next day. But yeah, they're not getting any extra help tonight. Miranda and co make it to the basement, and apparently it's fully flooded. And this is by far the worst part of the movie. Miranda uses these pipes to monkey bar over, even though there's a very noticeable railing right next to her that she could be walking on instead. They also, every time they pan down and show the ground is completely different. Sometimes there's a pathway under her that isn't in the water, sometimes there isn't, but it's not like the water's going down and rising up, because sometimes the bridge will be broken, like fully gone. I don't know why they did that. It's so strange. Like it's not even rising water levels, it's just a completely different floor. Miranda gets attacked by the octopus, and suddenly Clue shows up. You know, Clue, the woman that we just saw die to the alien reference. I thought she died in how do I even argue anymore? Clue somehow gets another new axe from the other side of the room. I don't know how that got there. And I can't even describe this next scene, so I'm just gonna let it play.
Deep fried calamari. Favorite.
That has got to be the worst edited death scene I have ever seen in a movie, ever. She went from Kill Bill to this. This is awful. Like, first off, what is with the random jump cut where she's like, all right, I'm gonna get them. They couldn't do another take, so it lined up. Also, why is she looking at the camera falling as if she got knocked off? Didn't she actively jump in with the axe? And when she lands, why is she ginormous? Like, well, look at how she hits the water. She would have to be massive for this. None of this makes any sense, like the way that they edit this. And where's the axe? There's so many things wrong with this scene, but I don't know. This is genuinely the hardest I've laughed in a movie in a long time. It actually baffled me, which you can see if you go over on the page. Miranda keeps going despite Clue's noble sacrifice, and eventually makes it over and runs to the breaker box. She turns it on, and the lights are on, and the doors are open, but she's not out of the woods just yet, because the octopus is here, and holy shit, this thing is huge. She gets on this handrail, like she should have done earlier, and she grabs this random loose wire and zaps the octopus. I'm not really sure where she got the wire. I guess there was like an earthquake or something. All I know is she zaps the octopus, and that bitch dead. Again, I guess, because it was dead the first time. I don't know how this works. The octopus is dead, and the day is saved, because I guess it was the only evil creature in the building. They make it outside as if the day is fully saved, and it really feels like they just gave up on the movie. Like, what about all the other animals? Shouldn't they keep the doors closed so the walrus and the crocodile don't get out into the public? But I guess, I mean, look, if they don't care, I don't care. You know what I mean? Like, I don't care anymore. Now, the movie's not quite over yet, though. Miranda confronts Daniel, asking about the disposal order for the Eden Zoo supply. He eventually folds and lets it slip that Blackburn paid him to sabotage the building so he could sell the aquarium. Now, in Daniel's defense, he was just simply told to not destroy the shipment and he'd get a bunch of money, which I feel like 90% of people would do, because in his mind, he wasn't expecting it to make a zombie outbreak. He just probably thought the batch was a little weak or something like that. You know, like, I feel like medical shipments being kind of shit happens a lot. So I don't really blame him, but also it's kind of shitty. So I do blame him. I don't know. I don't blame him for the zombie thing, but I do blame him for not destroying the shipment. Miranda tells the firefighters to take him into custody, and they say they don't have that authority. They can only take people to the hospital or rescue people from fires. So she responds by socking him in the nose like this is Punch Out. Daniel walks away, and the movie is finally over. It's finally, oh my god, it's finally over. I'm finally free. I'm free. This movie is different from the first two in a few ways. First off, the actors honestly aren't even that bad. Like, it was really just the story and the setting and the themes and the CG. It was just genuinely everything else other than the actors this time. My absolute favorite part of the movie is, how did Clue get down there to do that death scene? I thought she died. Also, she said the only entrance to the basement was the one that they took on the other side of the map. How did she get down there? How did I mean, I know the octopus went through the vents. How did she get down there? Did she army crawl through the vents with the octopus? Like, I'm gonna get you, motherfucker. Like, it's Die Hard. I guess she did die hard, so maybe, I don't know, this movie hurts my brain, man. I'm just glad I'm free of these movies, you know what I mean? There's not a fourth one, and that is confirmed. There is not a fourth. As always, thank you to my lovely patrons. Wow, look at them go. If you want your name up here, you can head over to patreon.com/Prisk. You'll get your name on this board, and you'll get, oh, so much more, so much exclusive videos just for you. Just for you. But with that being said, my name is Prisk. That's Reggie. Don't look at him. And I'll see you literally anywhere but these movies.